UFOs. The Doll's Head Trail. May Haley Lancaster. The Georgia Guidestones. Fort Mountain. Bigfoot. Georgia. Wondrous and strange. Wondrous people. May Haley Lancaster. Once upon a time, in western Georgia, just a stone's throw from the Alabama state line, there lived a witch. She lived deep back in the piney woods in an old rundown cabin. She only had one eye, but the gift of second sight allowed her to see things that others could not. People would come from miles around to have their fortunes told. Sometimes she would tell them things that they didn't want to hear. After the witch died, her legend continued to grow. Even today, there are stories posted online about foolhardy folks who dare to visit her grave. Misfortune often follows them home. One woman claims her home burned down. Another teen who vandalized May Haley's grave was killed in a car accident. Is this the curse of the witch? Well, every legend has a kernel of truth, and this is the truth of May Haley Lancaster, Georgia's witch, and oracle of the ages. Georgia has been home to many wondrous people, but perhaps none of them wore so many hats, both literally and figuratively, as May Haley Lancaster. Over her lifetime, she was a teacher, farmer, business owner, lawyer, politician, midwife, and yes, fortune teller. May Haley was born in 1875, near the end of the Victorian era. Most of these occupations were considered improper pursuits for women. May Haley was well ahead of her time. For example, she was one of the first women to practice law in Georgia, and she was the first woman to run for political office in Georgia legislature. Despite these accomplishments, it is her special gifts that have made May Haley a legend. People say she was born with a caul, a membrane covering her face. It's long been believed that cauls are signs of psychic abilities. It's said that by the age of 12, May Haley had begun telling fortunes. Sometimes she would use ordinary playing cards, other times she would read palms, but mostly May Haley just knew. It should be noted that May Haley did not consider herself a witch. She was a devout Methodist all her life. I doubt if anyone had the nerve to call her a witch to her face, except for one attorney working for the defense on a trial, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. May Haley seemed to have a flair for the theatrical. Her wardrobe included fancy dresses and feather boas. Other times she'd trade her flowered and feathered hats for a military-style cap. In later years, she wore a matching army coat and simple sack dresses. May Haley did have only one eye. She kept a black marble in the empty socket. Sometimes she'd remove it, polish it on her sleeve, and pop it back in. $1 and a dime will put you in touch with the spirit, she'd say. The dollar was for her, the dime was for her dogs, who were always by her side. People would wait in long lines outside her cabin in Heard County to have their fortunes told.
May Haley, Buford's cattle are missing. Where are they?
I lost my grandmother's diamond ring. Can you help me find it?
May Haley, can you give me some good numbers to play the lotto?
May Haley, I'm dating 2 men. Which one should I marry?
May Haley, Buford's run off. Where's he?
Miss May Haley, will they find the body? John Wallace was a prominent Georgia farmer and a regular client of May Haley. In 1948, he murdered one of his farmhands for stealing cattle from him. He had buried the body in an old well He got nervous about it and sought May Haley's advice. May Haley told Wallace that deep in the well, deep in the woods, a body was hid, but not very good. Authorities knew that Wallace was a regular client of May Haley, and they asked her to testify at his trial. And thanks in part to her testimony, he was found guilty for his crime and executed in the electric chair. After his conviction, Wallace's lawyer said, "Not since the 17th century has a witch's testimony been allowed in a court of law." The trial garnered nationwide attention and made May Haley a celebrity. Dollars and dimes rolled in, and she amassed a fortune. May Haley died on November 25th, 1955. She's buried at Caney Head Methodist Church in Heard County. She attended church here throughout her life, sitting on the front row accompanied by her dogs. A verse from the Bible is engraved on her tombstone, "For neither did his brethren believe in him." However, her grave is visited by those who still seek her wisdom. Offerings of $1 and a dime are often left. As for the curse, well, accidents and misfortunes happen every day without rhyme or reason. Still, if you do visit Miss May Haley's grave, I would do so with respect, if not for her mystical powers, for her strength of character and her many accomplishments. May Haley Lancaster, one of Georgia's wondrous people.